What's up, everybody? This is John with Archer Film. All right, this next movie, this horror movie, I just had a lot of hope for this. I was really looking forward to this movie. As far as concepts go, it was okay. Like, it's very simple. Aging star decides to take mysterious substance that turns her into a young hottie. But there are rules. 1 week of old self, 1 week of young self. Eventually, young self wants more time, which harms the old self, and old self lashes out by abusing her own body. Very cool setup, very cool concept. It's been nominated for some awards right now, and this is why I'm making this video now instead of when I saw it. It's just too hyper stylized for me. It gets very old after 10 minutes. The extreme close-ups, the bright colors. I know it was intentional, but it felt like a music video. Bright colors and lights and flash cuts and repeated shots and motifs. It all felt like a distraction. Like, anytime something is hyper stylized, over stylized, it kind of makes it feel like you're lacking story. It's billed as a horror comedy, but it wasn't funny. Like maybe a dark satire type of thing. But in that case, it was a little obvious. Like it just wasn't, it didn't seem funny to me. It seemed a little disturbing, which I liked. But like once the initial concept and then the complications arise, there's like no surprise in terms of plot or character. Like it's the same thing over and over, repeated. And then finally at the end, you get something a little bit different. As far as the themes go, like maybe it works in LA or with movie stars obsessed with youth, you know, or staying young, or maybe influencers. Maybe that was the target audience. But like, how relevant is that to anyone else? Like, honestly, like, does anyone else feel this way? Maybe it's because I'm a man and I don't give a shit how I look. But there's like little to no depth with the characters. Now, there's nothing like really interesting beyond the plot. Like if this was action and not like horror comedy or whatever, I would have been bored senseless. There's just nothing really to hold on to past the initial sort of concept. I was bored like 20 minutes in. And look, Demi Moore's fantastic. Margaret Qualley is just great to look at and watch. Like as far as she's a great actress, she has a great look. You want to see what she's going to do. Plus she's hot. But still I was bored because the story was not there. Like the world is so bright and shallow and over the top that none of it made me feel anything. Like even the really gruesome horror stuff, which admittedly was like really cool to look at, especially at the end, like it just so over the top that I did not care. Like with a horror movie like Terrifier, you go for the gruesome deaths, right? But it fits the tone and the piece, and it isn't really trying to say much. With Substance, it was trying very hard to be clever in terms of time and age and the whole Dorian Gray thing, but it's all surface level. And maybe that's the point, but anytime you're making a shallow movie about shallow people, it becomes shallow or boring to me. There are other ways to make body horror interesting to me. The movie Teeth comes to mind. If you haven't seen that little indie film from the early 2000s, I want to say, it's fantastic. Or something like Ginger Snaps or David Cronenberg's The Fly or David Cronenberg's Crash. Raw was pretty good, too. I did not like her follow-up, though, where about the lady that has sex with the car. That was just too much. I'm not that scene, but it's just too much going on. I didn't really understand it. Anyway, I get the sense that the filmmaker, with nothing real to say, uses what they think is satire to tell a story, but I feel like that's out of laziness. It just felt very silly and like a very not that entertaining B movie. Anyway, that's my take on Substance. Thanks for watching, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.